All right, so we've been graphing systems of linear inequalities, but now we're going to be taking a step to be able to look at these graphs and write the inequality from it. So we're just starting, before we jump into systems, we're going to start with just linear inequalities. I'm going to do 4 examples with you, and you're going to try the last 2 on your own today. So you'll notice at the top here, I took note of 2 important questions you should ask. One, is the line dashed or solid? That's going to be a huge help when doing this. And the second one, which region is shaded, above the y-intercept or below the y-intercept? So we're going to take these questions into consideration, and we're going to use our previous skills of writing equations for lines, and we're going to apply them here. So let's take a look at number 1. All right, so you notice we have, first of all, I'm going to start out with my line here. I want to figure out where my y-intercept is. All right, my y-intercept's right here at 2. So I know I'm going to start out here with 2. And then I want to figure out my slope. So I'm going to find another point on my line. Another good point here. It looks like, oh, this is a good point right here. Now I'm going to go up 1. And then I'm going to go over 3. 1, 2, 3. So that means my slope for my line here is going to be 1/3. I'm going to make that x. So we have 1/3 x plus 2. And then we've got y here. Now, what we really want to know now is what kind of inequality goes here. So let's take a look. Now, first of all, it looks like the region above my y-intercept is shaded. You know, everything above it is all colored in. So since it's going to be above that, I know that y is going to be greater in this case. Now, the last question I want to ask, is this line dashed or is it solid? You'll notice that we have a dashed line here. What does that mean for our inequality? That means we're not going to underline it, because that does not mean greater than or equal to. It just means greater. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So if you take a look, we get y is greater than 1/3 x plus 2. Again, I found my y-intercept, found the slope of my line, and then I did y blank 1/3 x plus 2. I noticed everything above my y-intercept was shaded, which makes it greater. And since the line was dashed, not solid, I did not underline my inequality. Let's take a look at this next one. All right, so again, I'm going to find my y-intercept here. I'm going to go with 5. 5 is my y-intercept, so it's going to be something. It's going to be y something x plus 5. Let's look for that slope. So again, you want to find 2 really clear points. These aren't necessarily clear. That line isn't necessarily going right through those coordinates. But I can see the line definitely going through right here. So I can use these 2 points, which means I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2, 3. Which means I'm going to get a slope of 5/3 x, and I have a y-intercept of 5. Now again, I have to figure out which region is shaded. Now if you look, all right, I'm going to get rid of my little slope configuration here. I'm looking at everything above my y-intercept. It's kind of tough to tell. Our y-intercept here of 5, and we notice that everything above it is once again colored in. Everything up here. And that includes everything to the left as well. But everything above that y-intercept is shaded in, which means once again we're going to have greater than. Now let's take a look at our line this time. Our line is not dashed. It is a nice solid line. Since it's a solid line, we're going to underline that inequality. And so for this one, we get y is greater than or equal to 5/3 x plus 5. So again, what I did was I looked for my y-intercept, 2 points to make my slope. I noticed that everything above my line was shaded, so I made that greater. And since the line was solid and not dashed, I underlined it, so it was y is greater than or equal to 5/3 x plus 5. Let's try our next one. All right, so again, I'm going to start with just my line. I know it's going to look like something like this. Y blank, don't know the slope, x plus or minus whatever my y-intercept is. In this case, my y-intercept is -4, so I can fill in -4 right here. Now I need my slope. So again, you want to find 2 clear ordered pairs that line goes through. I know it goes through here. Not clear, not clear. Oh, it goes through right here. So let's figure out how we get there. Go up 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go over 1, 2, 3. All right, so we get 4/3. So I can fill in my slope now. Y blank 4/3 x minus 4. Now let's figure out what's shaded in. Now, typically, in the past two examples, we've noticed everything above our y-intercept is shaded in. You notice that's not happening this time. In this case, we go to our y-intercept, we see everything below here is shaded in, as well as everything to the right. But everything below is shaded in. So since everything below is shaded in, that's going to make this, I'm going to get rid of that blank, I'm going to make this less than. Y is less than 4/3 x minus 4. Now let's take a look at our line. Our line here, it is solid. There is no dashes. So if it's solid, that means we're going to underline our inequality. And I am done. I get y is less than or equal to 4/3 x minus 4. So again, same process. Looked for my y-intercept, found the slope, then I identified where was shaded in, above or below, and then I took a look at my line. All right, and this is the last one I'm going to do with you. All right, so let's set it up again. Y blank blank x plus or minus blank. Let's take a look at our y-intercept here. Oh, we got -2 this time, so it's going to be -2. Y blank blank x minus 2. Let's take a look at our slope. Oh, this is a good one, because if you'll notice, we get a lot of ordered pairs. This line goes through a lot of ordered pairs. So let's see, we go up 1, over 1, and that gives us 1. It's a pretty straightforward slope, just 1. Now I gotta figure out, is everything shaded above or below my line? If I look above, nothing, no shading. If I look below, all this shading. So once again, we're gonna get a less than. We're going to get less than this time. I'm going to get rid of that blank. We're going to make it less than. Now let's take a look at our line. Our line here is dashed. It is not solid. So since it is dashed and not solid, we do not have to underline our inequality. So essentially we are done. And you could even simplify this to y is less than x minus 2, because you don't necessarily need the 1 there. And there you go. So what I just did was I went through 4 linear inequalities, and I was able to write them out based on what I saw on the graph. You are going to try the next 2 on your own, okay? So you're going to be trying those next 2 on your own. So again, remember, look for the y-intercept, look for the slope, look for the region that's shaded in, and then look for the line. Is it dashed or is it solid?